Hello, you're watching PC Jack. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different compared to what we normally do on the channel. As you're probably aware, prices on graphics cards have reduced very significantly over the past couple of months. And while you can probably get some decent discounts on brand new graphics cards, a lot of people are going to be turning to the used market. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to go over some things I would consider when I'm looking to buy a used graphics card. And so today, I'm going to show you the graphics card that I bought a couple of days ago for less than £100. I'm going to show you how to inspect the card to make sure it all looks like it's in working order, in addition to fully testing it in a system to make sure it's running as intended. Now you might be wondering what graphics card I managed to get for less than £100. The graphics card in question is the RX 580. This is actually one of my most favourite GPUs I've ever used, and I actually featured this in my first ever video on the channel, but it was the 8GB model and not the 4GB one. So if you did have the option of going for the 8GB version of this, I would recommend it, but either way, I'm really excited to finally have my hands back on this card, as I used to love using this back in the day. So the exact price I actually paid for this was actually £94, which all in all is a pretty good deal for something that's going to be really good for 1080p gaming. So I think what we'll do is we'll unbox the card, have a little look at the card to make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary on it, and then we'll plop it in a system and see if it's running or not. So taking a look at the box, it looks to be in pretty decent condition. It's a bit dusty all in all, and there's a bit of this cardboard has come away, but nothing that would raise alarm bells like any rips or anything like that. You can see it's been unsealed as well, so obviously it has been used. So let's just open it up and take a look and see how it's looking. Okay, so first things first, I've noticed the card hasn't come wrapped in a anti-static bag, which it's not the end of the world. Ideally, it would have come in something like that, as most GPUs tend to, but not the end of the world. It has been well packaged with some foam just to keep it safe in transit. But let's take a look at whether there's any other accessories included as well. Okay, so we got some documentation that you would typically get when the card comes brand new. We've got the driver disc. Don't use this. It is going to be extremely out of date. And then we've obviously got an installation guide. That's good to have as well. All in all, I'm not sure what the accessories were with this card, whether it included any stickers or anything like that, but at least it's got the installation guide, which is useful. So at least they have included some of the original documentation. Okay, so now let's take an actual close-up look at the card itself. And first impressions are the actual cooler itself. It looks to be in decent condition, albeit a little bit dusty. The backplate looks good. I can't see any sort of scratches on there that would be concerning. There isn't any protection for the PCIe connector, which is a little annoying, but it doesn't look to be damaged in any way. But at least they have included the ones for the outputs on the back. But taking a little look, I can see that this card has been in use for a while, as you can see a bit of dust buildup on the PCB itself. So one of the first things I'll probably have to do is give this card a bit of a dusting, but we'll actually make sure it's working before I do any sort of maintenance on it. But besides that, the power seems to be looking okay, no damage there. All in all, it just looks like it just needs a bit of a dusting, and it should be okay. Check the fans, make sure they're spinning. They seem to be not obstructed at all. Same with that one. Cosmetically, I think it's looking pretty much in order. Like I said, I'll have to give it a clean, but let's make sure it's working first, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so we've got our RX 580 in our test bed. So I'm just using this with my 12600K. So let's make sure our power supply is turned on, and then let's try and turn it on and see what happens. Okay, so fans are spinning up. Our Sapphire LED is lighting up as well. Let's see if we're actually getting a display out. Bit strange, it's just rebooted for some reason. Let's hope that's not a bad omen. Okay, that's not a very good sign. The system seems to be just rebooting over and over again. Not quite sure why it would be doing that. So it's been a couple of minutes and I can't get the system to actually post with this GPU installed. I've checked to make sure the GPU is fully seated and tested in multiple PCIe slots. Made sure the cables are fully seated and that we've got a HDMI output that's working. And everything seems to be correct, but it just won't post and keeps rebooting. One thing I did think to check was that this card had a dual BIOS, so I flicked it to the other BIOS and it was the same result, nothing different happened. So my only thought is maybe, because I know this system has been a little bit finicky with AMD cards in the past, so maybe that could be the reason why. So I'm thinking what I'll do, I'll go grab an AMD system instead of an Intel one, and maybe that will solve the problem? Okay, so we've now got it slotted into my AMD system, which uses a 3900 XT on a B550 motherboard. So hopefully this should fix the issue with it not booting at all on my Intel system. So let's power it on and hope for the best. Okay, power it on. We're gonna get a signal this time. Reboot it again, okay. What about now? Is it gonna give us something? If it doesn't, I don't really know what else we can do. Not looking promising. We've got a debug LED, but it's just stuck on VGA, which was actually the same thing with the Intel system, so I'm at a loss. I'm gonna turn this off just in case there's any other issues I'm not aware of, but damn, that's really disappointing. There wasn't anything cosmetically that would have pointed to say that there was any issues with the card, and we tried both BIOSes on the card, same result. I know there's nothing wrong with the power supply or either of the systems that we used, so it's gotta be the card. I'm really sad. So, not quite the outcome that we were hoping for in today's video. I had high hopes for this GPU, and it's quite a shame we couldn't quite get it to work. Like I said, testing both systems, couldn't see anything out of the ordinary. I know the rest of my parts were working fine, so it really did just point to something being wrong with this card. And while we could take even more time to try and troubleshoot it and figure out why this card isn't working, given that I ordered this used off Amazon and I'm still within my 30-day return window, I'm just better off returning this because the troubleshooting to go through and fix this might not be worth the hassle given the fact that this card just could be dead anyway. So again, bit disappointing, but I'm going to have to go through the return process, and thankfully it's good to know that buyers through Amazon or even through eBay are well protected when it comes to defective hardware. So I would highly advise being very careful who you're buying for and doing thorough testing to figure out whether the card is working or not. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to get scammed, and I would hope that this video could point you in the right direction for the things that I would do to troubleshoot a card that isn't working. So for now, it seems that this card has gone to the great GPU heaven up in the sky. So, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, then please feel free to like and subscribe for more videos on the way soon. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at PCJack94. If you'd like to talk more myself and another like-minded hardware enthusiast, then make sure to check out the PCJack Discord server. If you'd like to support the channel even further though, and ensuring I can buy more dead GPUs, then make sure to check out the PCJack Patreon where you can claim exclusive benefits while helping to fund everything I do on the channel for you guys. You'll find links to all those in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.